Monica with nurturingconnectionshomeschool.com, where I share resources, printables, freebies, and encouragement to help you connect with what matters most. Now today I'm going to be sharing about Brave Books. So we have been a member or a subscriber for Brave Books for the past 9 months, and so that means that we've been getting a book every single month and have really enjoyed these so far. And I thought I'd share a little bit about it with you as well, just in case it could be a good fit for you and your family. Now today we're going to talk about what are Brave Books, what is it all about. I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to do a flip through and kind of show you a little bit more about that. And then just give you my general thoughts on why I really think this is important in this day and age with the culture war and everything else going on. So hang tight, get your cup of coffee, tea, whatever you drink, and just hopefully enjoy what I'm about to share with you, because I think this is a really neat resource that could be a really neat part of your homeschool. So what is Brave Books? Okay, so Brave Books is a literature-based company. They have come up with a number of books and resources. Right now there are 4 sagas available, plus other resources that they're coming up with all the time, including a TV show with Kirk Cameron. What sets this company apart is that it is pro-God and pro-America. It's pro-patriotism. This company shares biblical values, conservative beliefs, and it does so through children's books and literature that really helps you connect with your children and share your values, your beliefs with them as well. So I really have enjoyed these so far. I'm going to give you an example of these different titles so you can kind of get an idea of the topics that are covered. A lot of these topics are considered controversial, and what I find so interesting in that word controversial here is that if this was sharing the other's perspective, the other side of things, it would not be controversial, because that is the agenda, that is the message that is being propagated on us through secular resources, books, media, TV shows, radio, all of that. And it's because that messaging has been so prominent in our culture that anything that speaks against it or anything that speaks for something else can often feel controversial. But I have really enjoyed reading these books with the kids and opening up those channels of communication to discuss these topics further, to really share what we believe and why we believe it and what is truth and what is propaganda and all of that. So just to give you an idea, the first book that we received from Saga 1 is Elephants Are Not Birds. Another one was Little Lives Matter, The Island of Free Ice Cream, Fame, Blame, and the Raft of Shame, More Than Spots and Stripes, Paws Off My Cannon, Son of Truth, The Fight for Freedom Island, Because You're My Family, and then we have The Treasure of Cabal Island as well. So this was our freebie. So we ordered the subscription, which meant that each month we received 1 book, and with the subscription came this map, and it kind of gives you a layout of characters and where all this takes place. There it is. And then each book has a sticker, and you can add those stickers on to the map wherever they belong. So these are some examples here of the villains, for example. It also came with this little card with the mission.
Arthur Braveheart, and my beloved.
And then the books themselves come with these little cards, as you can see here, and they have the stickers that will then go on the map. And so it's a neat little activity that can be done with the kids. Now, inside each book is the story itself. Now, some are written in rhyme, such as Elephants Are Not Birds, and then some are just written in prose. Now, after each story, what you'll find is a mission, and that includes putting the sticker in your little map. And then beside it, it kind of gives you an overview of some activities you can do with your children to connect them with the ideas in the book, give them a biblical perspective on it, but help them to experience the topic at hand. So in this particular one, they are discussing what it means to hear the voice of truth versus the culture and what that truth means and says. So there is always a brave challenge of some sort where you will tally up your marks. It's Team Brave against the culture. And then you'll have 3 games to play with your children. So there's a barcode there where you can scan a video tutorial in so you can watch how to play the game. But in this particular case, there was a game about blindfolding one of the family members, putting an obstacle course, and then all of the family members will encourage that particular person to go through the course safely and across. But one person will stand for the culture and they will try to be a distraction, try to get them to get off course. And then afterwards, you'll get to discuss kind of what that experience was like and how it ties in with the story. There's also a modification available there for each game and some discussion questions. So how did it feel when you couldn't see and didn't know where to go? How did it feel knowing there was a voice trying to trick you? And in our story, Kevin trusted culture. What happened when you trusted culture's voice in today's game? And so forth. So game 2 is right here. There's a scavenger hunt, for example, and then more discussion questions. Also, what you'll see along the way are some notes from the author himself or herself. So the author will weigh in with some suggestions, some things to think about, some scriptures sometimes, or just some reaffirmation of the topic at hand. So this is game 3 called All Mixed Up. And again, you have your discussion questions that follow. At the end, you tally up everything and you celebrate Team Brave for winning and working together to combat the lies of the culture. So each book is set up that way. Every single one has its own little activities, as you can see, and games, and then the notes by the author. I'm going to share with you one of the books, just a little bit about it, so you can kind of see on the inside the topic and how it kind of is addressed in kid-friendly terms and ideas and things that introduce them to these topics gently, but give you the opportunity to speak into those topics. All right, so in Little Lives Matter, for example, we have Mama Bear who just gave birth to her little baby bear cub. But Moby is born without a paw. And so she's rocking her little baby bear. And here we have the villain, Culture the Vulture, who comes in and tells her, "What a tired mother you are," he squawked. "How hard you work caring for such a small, weak baby. When you're stuck with him, you can't climb trees with friends. Why don't you leave him and live for yourself?" And then we have Mama Bear combating that with "Zip it, Culture. Go away, let us be. My life may be hard, but my son's still my son, and I love him even more than all the treetops filled with fun. You say if I leave, then my life will be free, but it's my son's life, not mine, that means most to me." Now you follow along with Moby, and he grows up a little bit more, and as a child, we have the Culture Vulture coming back to tease him for his disability. And he says, "What a sad bear you are. How hard it is to live with a missing paw. You're helpless and little and a very big burden. You'll never climb trees with your friends. Wouldn't life be easier for everyone if you just ran away?" Little Moby's eyes welled up with more tears when suddenly, and I'll pause there for a little bit and fast forward because the mom comes and steps in for her son and silences Culture the Vulture. But what we find is Moby did grow up and got stronger because of his obstacles and struggles. Just as Culture had promised, the years got tough, but little Moby got tougher, and bit by bit he grew. And so it shares his story. But then at the end, as his mother gets older, he goes to take care of her. And so he's picking berries for his mother and trying to take care of her. And of course, here comes Culture the Vulture. "What a tired bear you are," he squawked. "How hard you work to keep your old, weak mother full. She takes all your time. You can't chase adventure or climb trees with friends. Wouldn't life be easier if you left and lived for yourself? And then, of course, he steps in this time and he says, my life may be hard, but I'm still my mother's son, and I love her even more than all the treetops filled with fun. You say if I leave, then my life will be free, but it's my mom's life, not mine, that means most to me. So just beautiful messages throughout these books. I teared up on this one and actually really cried. But I really just enjoyed having these conversations with the kids, why it's important, diving into these topics, being able to share what the culture says about these topics, what the culture says about humanity, what the culture says about all of this, and what God's word says, and what we believe as a family, and then talking about it and discussing it and experiencing it. So we've really enjoyed these. They have a number of ways to get these books on hand. There is a subscription service that gives you a discount and a free book. And that service just allows you to receive one book a month like we've done. But they also have the books available for sale on their website if you want to go check them out and see if any of these topics speak to you, and if you want to share these with your kids as well. I went ahead and signed up as an ambassador with Brave Books just because I love them so much personally and wanted to offer a coupon code to y'all if you were interested in checking it out. So if you put in connections, you'll get 15% off of your first purchase. These are topics that are so important to discuss, and if we are silent about these topics, then all they will ever hear is what culture has to say about these topics. And most of the time, if not all, culture is filled with deceptions and lies about who they are, who God says we are, what God designed our world for, and our role in all of it. And so I personally have just really loved these Brave books that have allowed me to come in and open up those channels of communication. These aren't topics that we just always bring up. I mean, sometimes we'll hear something on the radio and be like, oh, did you hear that? What do you think about that? But it kind of gives us that platform. It gives us that foundation, that common experience that we've done together and experienced together that helps us then see the world through new lenses and to have that biblical worldview as we move forward. So that's what we're working on in our homeschool. We do this during morning time. I have a couple of videos I've just shared recently on our morning time and how we integrate these books into that time that we have together. If you have any questions, please drop them below. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up on your way out. It's an easy way to support my channel, and I really appreciate you being here. Hope to see you here next time. Bye-bye.